Hi everyone, it's Anderson Printful's marketing team, and in this video, I'll go over design trends for 2020. First up, Retrowave Art. In our previous video, we covered 80s and 90s pattern designs that paid homage to the cartoons of that time. Even though we're now in a new decade, public's craving for nostalgia is on the rise because of new cult TV series, fashion, music, and other media that managed to hook audiences from all generations. That's how Retrowave design trend has made its way back into the spotlight. This trend is an expansion of the 80s aesthetic movement that embodies 80s nostalgia and 80s retrofuturism. We did some research and found that the majority of Retrowave designs are placed on a dark background, include a 3D grid that merges with polygonal mountains, and feature thick, blocky 3D typography that's often styled to resemble metal. Together with our graphic design team, we decided to test this trend on an all-over fanny pack. We started off with a high-resolution full-bleed image of a 3D grid, which we were able to scale and reposition for every side of the fanny pack in our Printful mockup generator. We also added the new retro title on the front placement of the product. When it comes to colors, it's best to stick to analogous color scheme, in other words, hues that are located right next to each other on the color wheel. To help your object stand out from the busy background, glow effects are a big help. While they print fine on all of our products, for DTG you need to use halftone effect to achieve a similar neon glow, in order to avoid semi-transparency. We have a step-by-step tutorial for this effect. I'll leave a link to it below so you can watch it later. Before we move to the next trend, let's quickly pop into Google Trends. There's something I want to show you. Here we can see that for the last 5 years, the interest for the keyword retrowave is still growing strong. Now if we compare it to synthwave, which is the musical genre from which retrowave originated, you can see similar growth, especially in Western Hemisphere. Since the trend is based on 80s nostalgia, you have an entire generation that relates to it because they lived in those times, and then the younger generation that romanticizes them. 3D and realism. 21st century tech not only solves modern problems, but also brings new ways of entertainment. Augmented reality apps are available on our phones that help us use our surroundings as a giant sandbox to play around with 3D objects. So, 3D is steadily becoming the new standard. If you're creating digital art using only 3D modeling software or combine 3D elements with photography, now's a good time as ever to use your art to create posters and sell them online. Here we have a 12x16 enhanced matte paper poster with a design made of simple 3D objects. We chose this matte poster and not a canvas because the smooth surface helps to highlight the depth of this composition, its rich color tones, and small details. A canvas, on the other hand, would prevent such an accurate depiction due to its textured surface. Bicolor Design. This graphic design trend uses bold elements and a strong color contrast. As the name states, there are two colors in the composition. Now the best part about bicolor designs is the simplicity. You can create them on the Printful mockup generator in a matter of minutes. Pick a product in any color you like, and add a clip art design in a different color. Done! A similar trend went viral a few years ago in photography thanks to the Spotify rebranding campaign that featured lots of visuals with a duotone effect. Our graphic design team combined both trends into one, and then printed it out on this Bella Canvas 3001 heather blue t-shirt and this iPhone 11 phone case. Because of the simplicity, it's easy to use this design on different products. Now if it had more details, they'd need to be rearranged to fit the printing area of each product type. Simplified Illustrations. Following the idea of less is more, for our next trend, we have Simplified Illustrations. Illustrations have been popular for a few years now and will continue to be designers' favorites in the following decade. We have our print files prepared for stickers and mugs. Bright, bold colors, clearly defined shapes accompanied with goofy text is the way to go. You can literally use any shape. If you can't come up with anything, you can start with taking a picture of any object with your phone. Then in the graphic editor, use a pen tool to select the shape of this object, which by the way shouldn't be perfect, and fill it with color. Add another shape on top of it, some text, and you're done. Now if you're creating this type of design for stickers and want to make sure that the text and the shape are both on one sticker, make sure that they have a background shape layer in the print file. For our last entry, we have the Ultra-Minimalist trend. Its main characteristics, such as simple geometric forms and limited color palette, make it a perfect choice for embroidery. Remember, when creating a design for embroidery, you need to think of the elements as shapes rather than drawings. I'm holding a flat bill cap with embroidered black and round shapes. We were able to bring depth to it by using the 3D puff embroidery method. Because of this, we have this awesome shine effect as the light reflects on the embroidered elements. When creating designs with geometrical shapes, always remember about the thickness of the shape and the spacing between the elements, as this will prevent the order from being placed on hold. Minimalist art is free for audience's interpretation. As minimalist painter Frank Stella once said, "What you see is what you see." The last thing I wanted to talk about is this year's Pantone color of the year, Classic Blue. Same as last year's Living Coral, this color is also out of gamut, making it impossible to reproduce digitally so that it could be printed. But what you can do is use similar hues within gamut and include them in your design. Just remember that the color may not look the same on different garments. Also, it's worth noting the color psychology behind the color blue. While Pantone capitalizes on its sense of peace and tranquility to the human spirit, remember that blue is a cold color, favored by corporations because it's associated with trustworthiness, loyalty, and confidence. So if you decide to go with it, make sure it is in line with what your store represents. Don't be afraid to experiment because, as you know, Printful prints your products only when the orders come in, and you don't have to order anything in bulk. Remember that whatever design trends you decide to introduce to your store, the end product should create an experience for your customers that is in tune with your values. If you need help creating designs, reach out to our graphic design services team. You can do that by going to our Printful homepage and under Services tab, choose Graphic Design Services, and then submit a request. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe and tap on the bell icon to never miss out on the latest content. Lastly, write in the comments which designs do you think will go viral in 2020. That's all from me this week. See you around.